You probably know that Roblox SCP-3008 is in the infinite Ikea that nobody could ever escape, but did you know that the SCP Foundation has actually been inside of the infinite Ikea before? So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the bases in the Roblox SCP-3008 Ikea that the SCP Foundation could have built while they were there, as well as talk about a few encounters that the SCP Foundation may have had. About 2 years ago, I had heard a ton of theories about the SCP Foundation in 3008. Basically, the Foundation had found a way inside of the infinite Ikea, and they were sending tons of drones throughout. And at that time, the idea of drones during development was a question that was asked because it would have added some fundamental lore to the game. It's really funny, a lot of people don't think that Roblox 3008 has any lore. It used to be called SCP-3008, which makes it a little bit more confusing after it was removed. A lot of people know SCP-3008 much more than just the number. Trust me guys, there's actually a ton of dumb people out there. So yeah, quick little recap for those who don't know about the lore of 3008 is that SCP-3008 is an infinite Ikea, nobody can escape it. The SCP Foundation barely got into it. Okay, sorry guys, I noticed I was talking a little bit too fast. But SCP-3008 is an SCP anomaly that nobody can understand. The game itself has such like an eerie vibe that it makes you question if it's a horror game. In the SCP lore, the 3008 Ikea was really eerie. It was a place of horror for many. A lot of people were murdered by the 3008 employees, and a lot of like the normal survivors tried to kill the employees, but eventually it just caused more of them to come to the dead bodies. 3008 is filled with horrors. That's basically why the Foundation wanted to contact people and help them, but they themselves were too scared to lose men, so they were just flying drones all around. But let's say the Foundation decided to send an expedition squad to 3008. By playing the game, we have a stable understanding of what they might do, as we're the ones who know a ton about it. So I'm gonna load up 3008 and we're gonna kind of take a step-by-step rundown of the SCP Foundation's tactical plan. Alright guys, so I loaded up into an 100-player game just so that you guys would understand what a normal 3008 was actually like the Ikea itself. But of course, if the SCP Foundation was inside the 3008 Ikea, they wouldn't have a player list on their right side of their eyes, dude. And as we talked about before, the SCP Foundation sent a ton of drones that actually used some kind of lasers to make a map of the grids. Dude, if Roblox 3008 had actual drones, how awesome would that be? It just turned night, but imagine a drone flew by and you could see its laser in the night. It would be awesome if IKEA employees would chase the drones just because they saw movement. Now, in terms of survival, the SCP Foundation would probably have the resources to create some kind of night camp. But I think the Foundation is going to reach a point where they're going to be like, okay, yeah, it's much more viable to use furniture in a greenhouse than just make a tent. Because putting up a tent may be super easy, but it won't really defend you when you're defenseless at night. So basically, the SCP Foundation would just do as I'm doing right now, take a bunch of sturdy furniture and start creating a foundation to their wall. Their security is the most important thing, so look at this. They're kind of making a grid bar-shaped structure. And if the SCP Foundation really wanted to create a more defensive base, this would be crazy. Wait, somebody's talking with me in game. They said, "Es nuestra casa." What does that mean? Hold up, what does that mean? Let me check Google Translate, guys. It's our house. No, who do you think you are calling this your house? No, I'm doing the work here. Bro, what? This is the SCP Foundation's house. No hablo español. Okay, whatever. They're just taking my house, the house that I was building? Alrighty, basically, if the SCP Foundation had any type of encounters like that where survivors were to say, hey, this is my camp or my house, not yours, the SCP Foundation has something called firearms, very, very useful if somebody's trying to attack you in an infinite Ikea. And of course, if you look at survivors in 3008, they don't have very advanced settlements, so if somebody was to wage war on the SCP Foundation, they would easily win. The survivors may know more about the Ikea itself, but the SCP Foundation has something called a combat tactical assault rifle. Now, in terms of the employees, if they were to attack the Foundation would probably have tons of measures in place to either kill or capture them. In my opinion, the SCP Foundation could actually do a pretty good job of capturing and kind of imprisoning the employees. They could easily make sturdy glass structures like this and kind of trap them in. So in my opinion, employees wouldn't be a problem at all. The SCP Foundation has a bunch of trained soldiers and units that could do a lot of good. Of course, the Foundation is still gonna have to scavenge for food because, as you know, it's super scarce. But when the Foundation would find food, they'd clearly have a ton of people and soldiers to feed, so they'd probably take a lot. What I'm trying to say is that their inventories would be full from bananas, fruits, burgers, and chips. Now, I do want to say that's probably not the best diet if you're trying to survive in the Ikea, but if we take a look at base building again, if the SCP Foundation would want to build a base, they definitely want to make a secure command center. So something like this, the gazebo, or anything else with like an enclosed roof would be very useful. You can easily take a bunch of materials and kind of stack them against the wall and create like a super sturdy barricade. In my opinion, you would definitely be seeing a ton of these everywhere just because of the Foundation's like specific plans. Like, no joke, these are super useful. Look how much you can make in terms of security with just a few pieces of furniture and this roof. If you were to do that again just another 3 times, you would have a super secure base. And the thing is, this looks like a survivor bell tent. Nobody is gonna question you if you live inside of it. They'll be like, okay, another poor survivor. They probably won't have any guns or food, so boom, it's an easy way to kind of blend in. If you're walking around an Ikea in full tactical gear, somebody's gonna get suspicious. The employees are probably gonna be weirded out. And I'm talking about a real Ikea as well as the SCP one, by the way. But anybody else, like customers or survivors, would also be freaked out seeing you in tactical gear. So the Foundation would have to do everything necessary to blend in with the Ikea. Basically, they'd find survivors, kill them, take their clothes, take their hats, their food, and just go on. That way they blend in as normal survivors and not like super armored tactical units.
What we do here is go back.